Right guys, it's Dan from Smoking Dan's. Today we're going to be cooking a paella on the Kamado Joe Classic 2. So how we're going to do this is we've got the charcoal in the basket here. We haven't filled it right the way up, but obviously we want a decent amount of charcoal in there. We've got a couple of firelighters in there. We're going to get going. Make sure your bottom vent's open, your top vent's open. We're going to start these off, give it about 10 minutes. Right, so we've got about a 36cm paella pan. We've got 5 chicken legs that we've taken the bones out and taken the skins off and cut them into large chunks. We've got 4 fresh chorizo sausages that we've chopped up there a bit. We've got just over 1.5 litres of stock. We've got 300 grams of paella rice. Smoked paprika, we'll probably use maybe a tablespoon or so. We've got 4 garlic cloves crushed. We're going to use a decent pinch of saffron. Obviously we're going to season it to taste. We've got about 3 tablespoons of tomato puree, which we've mixed down with water a little bit. 1 very large onion we've just diced up. Got some frozen peas, sweet corn, carrot and green beans that we're going to go into there, and obviously some olive oil. So now obviously our fire's becoming established. We're just going to rake some of them coals all around, because you want this to be an even heat across the pan. I'm going to give that about 5 minutes. We're going to be using the accessory rack on the top position. So now we're looking good. We're going to get our pan set right there. Let that warm up for a little bit. So now we're going to go in with a nice helping of olive oil. Get some salt. Put that down in the olive oil, let that warm up. So now we're going to go in with our chicken and chorizo. Like so. Spread that out. But we really want to take this to a brown stage, like make sure we get plenty of colour. So I'm just going to let that hang out there for a little bit. Well, we've moved everything around the pan. We're looking lovely. Get some colour on the sausages and the chicken. I don't know if we can get a bit of a focus on that chicken. There we go, look at that. That is flavour. So now we've pulled all that off, what we're going to do, go in with our onion. We get all that out, actually. Get all that out. Give that stir. Look at the colour of that oil now. Beautiful. And we've got all these little bits stuck to the bottom of the pan, which is going to give us a flavour, a lot of flavour when we add the stock. That will all dissolve into the stock. Now we're going to go in with our garlic. Let these sweat down. Right, so the onions are sweated down nicely. We've added our tomato puree mixture. Mix that in with the onions. We're just going to reduce that down. Right, now we're reduced down. You can see now the oil is bubbling rather than it being like almost like a liquid. That means the majority of the water contents come out of it, which is concentrate the flavour again, and that's what we're after. So we're going to go back in with our chicken and chorizo. Give that a good old mix. Then we've got our stock. We're going to pour our stock in. Like so. We've still got some left, which is good because we may need to obviously add a little bit if we think it's needs a bit more. So I've filled it up to around the rivet line, which is a good indication. Obviously you can tell my Kamado isn't level, but it's a good indication. That's where you want to be with your liquid. So this is where I'm going to shut the dome, bring that up to a boil, then we can add our rice. So now obviously when we shut the dome, we just need to make sure we open the bottom vent, open this vent right the way up. I'm going to lift the dome up, being careful, because obviously we don't want the fire to come at us. We can see that's a nice simmer. I'm just going to give it a mix round. Then this is when we go in with our smoked paprika. Get that in there. Then our generous pinch of saffron, like so. We're going to give that a good mix. Then we're going to get our rice. We're just going to evenly distribute it around the pan. There we go. If you're not happy with the distribution, just let your spoon go through little wiggles, and hopefully the rice will settle all at the bottom. Right, now this is where we're going to leave the dome up. We're going to let that come to, again, a simmer. As you can see, we've came up to a simmer. We're going to literally leave it. We're not even going to touch it, we're not going to stir it, because we don't want to disturb the rice, because the rice will then give off the starch, and then that will make our paella into a risotto, which we don't want. We want that sort of individual grain. So we're just going to leave it alone. There's no harm in moving the paella pan around, because obviously, like I say, where it's not on a level surface, I'm just going to let that go until we're like really reduced down and start to see the rice through the top, and then we can start checking for the bottom, because we want to see if we can build up that sauerkraut layer, which is the tasty bit at the bottom of the paella. So what you can do also, just get a tea towel, make sure obviously we're not sticking to the bottom as of yet, because obviously we don't want that rice to really start burning now, catching. I know we've got a lot of liquid in there, but we just don't want that to reduce nicely. A little shake here and there, absolutely fine, but you don't want to start stirring it with a spoon, because that's too much. What you can see, obviously now we're really reducing that down. Obviously the stock's moved over that side, because obviously that's the lowest side. So we're going to give the pan a bit of a spin and just let it do its thing. I'm just going to try a bit of the rice just to see if we're nearly there. Nearly there. Give it a little bit longer. One thing we want to check, just to make sure the bottom hasn't really stuck, we'll just get a back of a spoon, go down, just agitate it slightly. Well, I can feel in certain spaces it's set on the bottom, and in others it's not. This is how we can tell if the sauerkraut is forming. When you get that bit of resistance on the back of the spoon, on the bottom of the pan, and that's what you want all over. You want that resistance, because that means it's building a crust up on the bottom. We're going to go add our vegetables on the top. Right, we're going to let that carry on cooking, and we're going to carry on just rotating the pan, and we're going to also keep checking. See, I've got a bit of resistance there. We're almost there. Beautiful. Now I'm happy with the resistance of the spoon in the bottom. We're going to take this off the heat. The most important thing we're going to do is get some tin foil, put it over it, and let it rest for 10 minutes. The soccer can then release from the bottom of the pan. So now 10 minutes have passed. See where we're at. I'll sort of scrape that bottom. You see that? Beautiful. Get onto the plate. So there we have it. Homemade paella on the Kamado Joe Classic 2. And this is what I mean by the soccer wrap. See that there? All on the bottom of the pan. That tasty bit that's just stuck on the bottom. We're going to make sure we get that off, don't you worry about that. So guys, finished article. It's all served up on a plate. I'm going to dig in, see what it tastes like. That is so damn tasty. So guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to finish this plate of food off. Don't forget to subscribe and hit like if you like it. Comment down below, let me know. I'll see you next time. Cheers.